Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Give it a few minutes, see if anybody else decides to join us.
I'm doing the minutes tonight, and I think this is my first rodeo, so I will be typing and looking away a lot, but that is not because I'll be deep in my Word document.
No, that's fine. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks. I don't know if hopefully Teresa will join us too. Yeah, we got a whole crew on tonight, huh? We got Mr. Mayo.
Yes, actually, I'm double booked, and I know I sent an email to the group saying I was going to come on late, but the other meeting is starting late, so I'm going to reverse it.
Ah, nice. Yeah, let's see, Sherry. Sherry. Let's see. Okay. All right. Should we get started so we can not keep everybody? Just reminder that this meeting is being recorded, I guess because we don't have a chairperson at the moment and I'm the vice chair. I am going to attempt to run the meeting the best I can. So I apologize for the mix up with last week. I am still getting used to the HRC email and all that good stuff. And so I apologize that we had to meet a week later, but thank you all for joining us. Anyway, so Jessica, like you said, you'll take notes for the meeting.
Yep,
So-
I'm taking notes, and also I am new, so if there's when we're doing attendance, if we could put in any brief introduction for anybody, that would be useful to me, just so I know who, people don't have to go into it. I don't want to take up time, but
sure, yeah, we can just go around real quick and do more of another round of quick introductions, given that I don't know if we've have everybody with the new members in a full meeting.
Yep.
Since April. So
yeah,
so
I'll pick it up.
can-
I'll pick it up as we go.
Yeah, no problem. So I can start. I'm Jeremy Little. Was elected the vice chair last month. And I've been on the HRC now for, I think this is my start of my third year. So maybe, yeah, third full year. Yeah, I've lived in Wakefield for like 20 years. So I've been around. I have a couple kids that have gone through the school system. And I will do my best to lead this meeting at least through agenda item number 5, which is the new chair one. So, so anyway, so maybe I can go to Jillian.
Hi, I'm Jillian Diamond. This is my first year with the HRC, so I think April might have been my first meeting. And then last month I was nominated treasurer, so I'll figure out what that entails and carry that on. I also have lived in Wakefield about 8 years, and then just joined HRC recently. Sorry, is it easier? Olivia?
Okay, I'm Olivia Dannenberg. I graduated from Wakefield High School in 2018. I'm 23 and I've lived in Wakefield for 22 years. I'm now a student at UMass Boston studying labor, and I have a background in some social work education. And I also run the Facebook for this commission. And this is my first term. Okay, pass it to Jessica.
Hey, I am also new to this, and I'm new to Wakefield as of last August. My wife and daughter moved here. And I am the secretary now, and so I'm doing that. I'm excited to be on the commission. I write for video games, and I think that's all. If other people have more questions for me. Oh, I lived in Boston ages ago doing comedy. Those are things about me to know. But anybody has any more questions in the future, feel free to ask. I will say, Sherry, you're the next on my list in my windows.
Well, I'm the veteran here. I'm in the second year of my second term. I'm also on the Council for Aging. I've been involved with many major events for the HRC over the last few years, including the fabulous Asian Pacific Islander one we just had recently. And I recently retired my business, although I'm not really retired fully, but I'm indulging myself and enjoying doing things that I had no time to do when I was working full time. So this is a big part of what I do and enjoy, and I look forward to working with all of you. It's great to see all the fresh faces. And I will turn it over to Teresa.
Hi, everybody. So this is going to my third year as well, like Jeremy. I think we started at the same time. And I have lived in Wakefield for about 10 years. My son is actually now going to sophomore year in the fall and high school. And I've also worked with many other folks here, just organizing events in the past here at Wakefield for the Human Rights Commission. So very excited to see all the new faces as well. Thank you. And I'll pass it over to Elizabeth.
Hey everyone, I'm Elizabeth Asenza. For the past 3 years, I have been the minister at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Wakefield and the clergy rep from the Interfaith Clergy Council on the Human Rights Commission. And I'm actually rolling off. This is my last meeting. Rabbi Greg Hirsch is available to take the position for the next year. And then Reverend Brett, the Episcopal rector, is interested after that, but he wants to get his feet wet for a year first, which is wise. So I don't know yet who I need to pass Greg's info on to if you don't have it, but I can do that. And I will pass it to Glavia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Glavia Smith. I am currently the MECO director at Wakefield Public Schools. I've been in that position for 4 years. So next year I will be going into my 5th year. This is my first meeting with WHRC. Am I saying that right? Okay. And I've collaborated in different ways with, I think, with different people on here on the commission. So I'm happy to be part of the group and to kind of see what kind of collaboration and what I can offer myself to the group. Happy to be here. Sorry, I will pass it to Officer Amy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amy Rando. I've been with the town of Wakefield for since 2009, and I also grew up here and lived here until about 2006. And I've been a member of the Human Rights Commission either as a liaison or a commissioner since it started back in 2015.
I think we just have Steve left.
Always at the end. Steve Mayo, Town Administrator. I've lived in Wakefield for 56 years, 55, 56 years. 3 boys that all went through the Wakefield school system. 2 of them are married, 1 is engaged. I have 2 grandchildren, one at the Dolbear School and one at, Canterbury Preschool. In fact, today's his 4-year-old birthday. So I jumped on here because I know we have a lot of new faces, and we would like to make sure at Town Hall that we can do everything we can to help facilitate the very important work of the HRC and to make your lives a little easier. So once, and I'm going to say once for you, Jeremy, that you get to, what was that, item 5 or 4 tonight that you wanted to make sure you got to, whatever that item was. I'd love to sit down with the chair, the vice chair, the treasurer, because I know there's a lot of different accounts that may be a little bit confusing between the grants and the earmark and some other money and other monies to help out with that. And also want to make sure that we're helping you out with all of the online and promotion stuff through our communications department. So please reach out to me after the meeting and we'll set up some time to get together and to help you guys in our very worthy joint effort. Okay. And they're signaling me to go to my other meeting. So take care.
All right.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Jessica, we are missing Jatika. Okay, so yeah, that's one person who's not here today.
Yep, that's the only person I have who is absent currently. So
Okay,
thanks
of
for
the vote of the voting commission, yes.
oh, yes.
Okay, so I guess I'll keep moving along since I created the agenda. So we'll go forward. I'm gonna skip the check-in activity only because I think the introductions and reiteration of everybody is suffices for that activity. So do we have anybody for public participation? I don't see anybody on the
Well,
Zoom other than people affiliated with the committee.
I think
Right.
Flavia, are you
Yeah.
officially a commissioner?
Okay, so I will admit, I think my superintendent asked me to be the
Okay,
administrator liaison. So I'm not sure if I'm considered public or member. So you guys let me know.
No, but basically you will be joining as many of our meetings as possible as the liaison to the administration for Metco, correct? So
MECO or
high
according
school.
to my boss for Wakefield Public School, I guess.
awesome. That's awesome. No, we welcome you on. We've
Thank
seen you
you.
we've seen you in the background in many of the events, and we know your name from our previous members who, unfortunately, Nicole is no longer with us, but on the commission. But obviously we know you through that, and we've seen you lingering at. Most recently, I saw you lingering at the Juneteenth ceremony
Yes.
in the back. So
I'm more of a background person.
yeah. So here you're more than welcome.
Thanks
to
for
take
having me.
here
And
you're
that's
Yeah, here you're more than welcome to take a closer seat to the front and be
Okay,
right in it with us. So we're awesome. So
Thank you so
grateful to
much.
have you on, and I will make sure I add you to the email list. So
Sounds great. Thank
And
you.
that is the liaison for what, just so that I'm typing it right?
for the Wakefield
Wakefield,
school system.
Just for the
Yes.
Wakefield school system? Okay, I heard that. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so next on the agenda, I have approval of the minutes. I know last month we tabled approval of the April minutes. I'm not sure, I wasn't at the April meeting, so I'm not sure I have a draft of the minutes. Teresa, did you ever have one for the last meeting?
I submitted the minutes for the May meeting. I took those minutes.
Yeah, for the May meeting.
Yes.
No, I think the May meeting you weren't at, Sherry, were you?
No,
No,
I wasn't at the June meeting.
So, no, this
was
is
at
the
a
June
conference.
meeting.
June.
Oh,
This is the June meeting now.
Yeah, you were not in the last meeting, Sherry.
okay, that's right. I was at a conference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or I was at a graduation or something.
Yeah.
So
in
I was
Chicago.
able to attach the May minutes
Yeah.
to the email earlier today. Sorry about that as well. Like I said, I'm trying to get everything organized for this. So I don't know if the April meeting, if we have a copy of the minutes somewhere. So maybe Sherry, you did the April meeting, maybe?
No, it was a new person that was in the meeting. And she was working, remember, and you had, I think Sherry did half of them and then the other person
Right.
did half, and they were supposed to come together, but I don't know if that happened.
I
Okay.
submitted the second half of the minutes
All right,
because
well,
I've never seen the first half.
okay, I will try to track them down. So I think we have to table the April ones, but the
Yeah.
May ones, I think we can definitely approve. Is there anybody
Yeah,
that has?
I didn't get any feedback from anybody about those, so I think it's fine.
Okay, is
People
there
were okay with-
anybody on here that has questions on them or has any changes for Teresa? Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the general meeting minutes of May 16th as written by and submitted to us by Teresa?
Since I wasn't there, can I make a motion even though I
You
can't
can make a
vote?
motion, yeah, you just
Okay.
can't vote on it, so.
I make a motion that we approve the May minutes, but I can't vote because I wasn't
Okay,
there.
so Sherry made the motion. Do we have anybody to second the
I
motion?
can second it.
So Teresa second the motion. So I'll go around because we're remote, we have to do a sort of a tally. So Jillian, you were there, right? So
Yes.
okay. Olivia,
Yeah,
Jessica,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes,
and myself, yes. And I don't think anybody else that's on the call was there for that one, so. Okay, so those are all set. I also submitted all of the notes Sherry gave us for the planning meeting for HRC records, but from what I understand from Sherry, right? Do you want to go over this, Sherry? You're a solo team?
Okay, I did that for our records, but we don't have to approve them since I was the only voting member of the commission who worked
Exactly.
on that event. Unfortunately, I had fabulous volunteers outside the commission, but I was the only voting member of the commission. So even though some of the meetings were organized through Sherry Dalton and the town Zoom, they were just ad hoc planning meetings. They were never official commission meetings. So you just have those for the record.
Right, exactly.
And I submitted other information about that event because I just wanted all of you to see the breadth of what we were able to do with our team of volunteers, including, someone who ran sound for us and people who both performed and made sure that we had, wonderful talent. So anyway, I submitted that to you and then I can talk about it as we go down the agenda more.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, and like I said, I didn't expect to vote on them. I just wanted to put them out there so everybody has them as part of the packet. So,
And I wanted to assure our new treasurer and secretary that I've done both, and I can advise you and help you. And I have full toolkit of all kinds of documents and things to share with everyone.
Yeah, we'll touch on that more on further down the agenda, because I think we have a few things, like a couple bills and stuff that I saw in the HRC email. So we'll go over that in a bit. So if everybody is good with we don't have any other minutes that are outstanding, right? Right? We're all set. Okay. So obviously last meeting we discussed officers, and just to fill in those who weren't there, I nominated Teresa for the chairperson. She declined it. She nominated me for the chairperson. I declined it. But I did accept the position of vice chair. So at the moment we don't have a chairperson of the HRC. So I am bringing it up again at this meeting to see if anybody has thought more on it or has reconsidered their nomination. Teresa. Or just to discuss it, because obviously, like Steve said, he wants to meet with sort of our leadership team to help us through the year and make things as smooth as possible for us. And for the new people like Jillian, trust me that the town office, they have it, they take care of our budget and finances, and we get updates from them. They make it pretty smooth. Once you're up and in the system, and like Sherry said, she's done it. So it's not like we don't have somebody on the committee legacy wise that has the experience and can answer any questions. So
Well, I guess I should admit that Teresa immediately came and said, Sherry, will you take the chairmanship? And my response was, I feel the responsibility as the senior person, but because I have been running 3 major events a year, I would serve as chairman, but I have to feel confident that others are going to step up and play a much more active leadership role in running those events. Those events include Hispanic Heritage in the fall, the International Women's Day, and the Asian Pacific Islander event in the spring. And those have gotten pretty big. They're pretty big and they're very popular. We had over 150 people in May. So, like I said, I feel the responsibility to say, okay, I'm the senior one on the commission, but I really need to know that all of you are going to be committed to helping out, and more than helping out, but even taking some leadership roles and running some of these events, because that, in addition to being chairperson, is a lot.
yeah, and I will second Sherry that I am here as vice chair to help you as well, if you so choose to be the chair. That I can take part of that extra burden off the chair of every meeting, but I can also help out with some of those events. And I know the new blood is gung-ho. I actually met a few people at the Juneteenth flag raising ceremony that were new to town and are very interested in HRC as well. So I think if we push for Sherry's the model for this. We push for people from the public, from outside of the HRC as volunteers to help out. It makes a lot of light work, but we need that point person in the HRC to just coordinate all of their efforts. So everything we've done in events over the years is mostly written up with a lot of notes. I think Sherry shared some of that in the documents that I shared with you guys that she passed to me. So, I know you're new to the committee. You might be a little leery of taking it on, but I think if we partner up, like a senior point person with a younger person, it will go smooth, and it will actually make it much easier as some of us transition off the committee, next year, that things will continue to flow forward. So So do I hear anybody make a motion to nominate Sherry as the chair of the HRC for this year?
I will make a motion to nominate you, Sherry. I appreciate you, your, both of your sentiments, and will also try to support you as much as possible.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Sherry, from what I hear, Sherry, you accept it if we nominate you?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Notice
Is
the
there anyone-
sigh.
Is there anyone else who would like to be considered for the chairperson?
I've spent the last 4 or 5 years nominating other people, so I wouldn't be in this position. So I can do the events,
Yeah.
spend more time on that, but I'd be happy to do this if you choose me.
Okay, so let's take a vote on Sherry as our new fearless leader of the HRC as our chairperson. Jillian,
Yes.
Olivia,
Yes.
Elizabeth?
I'm abstaining.
Okay. Sherry?
I can't vote for myself.
Sure you can.
Yeah, I think
Okay, yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Teresa?
yes.
And I vote yes as well. And I don't think, Glavia, I don't think you can vote because you're in a, you're a liaison and not an actual committee member. So I apologize, but I know you support Sherry as well as our chairperson. So, and Amy, you do too, because you know how hard she works over the years on this committee. So Sherry, thank you. I can continue to lead this meeting since I put the agenda together so that you can, take a deep breath and get ready for July. So,
I will tell you in July, this is going to be interesting. The day before the meeting, I'm having periodontal surgery, and I've been told that I'm going to have packing throughout my whole mouth, which means I'm going to be Mrs. Mumbles. I might not be able to speak. So we might have to translate you.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. So
I'll note all mumbles in the minutes.
yeah.
Because I don't think I could just do it on chat, and I don't know ASL, unfortunately, so.
So Sherry, I'm gonna turn it over to you. We're gonna move on to the next agenda item, which is the recap and review of the events.
Mhm.
So you already hinted at the APAH event. So, but I don't think you got a chance to recap it since it happened. So,
Well, I had a core of 4 community members. They were so dedicated that we met every single week for like 5 weeks and talked in between. They had contacts for talent. All of them were from the Asian American community, which was fantastic because they knew of a lot. And they certainly guided me through that. And one of the reasons we could do such a robust event was I had applied for a Mass Cultural Council event grant last year, and we got that grant. And so we had some money to spend, whereas in the past it's been very difficult. We've done things well, but on the cheap very often because we didn't have the money. So I cannot tell you how much I appreciated those volunteers. And then the day event, they brought in family members and neighbors and friends to help volunteer that day as well. And we had about 150 Wakefield residents come to this event. That was a biggie. It was big. I don't think I met with any of you there, which was a little disappointing. I hope that in the future you'll be able to make it to these events. I think it's important that we support each other. I was not at Juneteenth because I was at a conference in Connecticut, but otherwise I would have definitely been there and try to go to all these events. So the total expenditure for that event was $491.11. I guess I'm getting into the grant now. Maybe I shouldn't go into that place right yet. But let's just say that we we set the bar pretty high for future May APAH events. And it was really fun. I mean, it was really fun to do it. It's a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun to do it. And it was so gratifying how many people turned out.
Yeah, I remember going to last year's event, which was in like one room, right? In the
It was
center.
right after COVID. It was
Yeah.
our first live event that was indoors.
And that one, you could tell the momentum was gonna pick up, you know, from that one, because it was a nice little setup where you had basically stations around the room, right? And things going on. And then I saw some pictures from this one. I actually know Jeff Show.
Oh, he was wonderful.
Yeah, he and I used to do scouts together. Like, he still does scouts, but my boys are aging out.
Yes.
But I saw him in some of the pictures, so that's awesome that you were able to pull in such great community members that you know, to help out. And like I said in the preamble, that, you know, basically Sherry's done a lot of legwork to make this event gain a lot of momentum. So going forward, we will lean on her expertise, but she's going to need us to be those people in the trenches, you know, to do what she has been doing for the last few years. So,
And I have all the phone numbers, email addresses written down. And two of the volunteers I had, this was the second year they worked with me on this. And they brought in two more people. And that's how you really build an event. If you have some dedicated people who were willing to bring in some other, I mean, they had their kids working. And also Vanessa Westlake, who I hope will be our student representative soon. We don't have a student representative yet. But Vanessa was a wonderful volunteer as part of the youth council. She was the president of the youth council. And it would be great to have her on the commission as a voting member, because she volunteered and helped out at that event. Okay, next area.
so the next event, unfortunately, I couldn't make, but it was the Pride flag raising. Teresa, were you there at that one?
Yeah,
can
I
you do
was.
a recap for us?
Yeah.
Sure. It was actually a good turnout. I know the weather is always kind of, well, it's been kind of raining forever, but we had town representative, oh my God, Chimes is the last name, and I don't know why I'm forgetting his first name, but Jonathan, sorry. Yes, he was there, so he was able to welcome the crowd and everything, and they did the flag, and we had no issues raising the flag this year, because I know last year it got stuck. It was really nice. We had some singers, some youth perform. It was really, really like a nice event, and I think it was a pretty good turnout for, you know, the weather not looking the best, but it was
And
helpful.
Senator Jason Lee spoke as well.
Mhm.
And both he and Town Councilor Chimes really hit on some sensitive political issues.
Right.
And just making people alert and aware that still a lot of challenges.
Exactly.
I have a question about that. I was looking at the items from the days preceding that event in the in like the events for the week. I was wondering if we had put that in the item, because I didn't see it. I was just wondering.
The chairman did not get it into the item.
Okay.
She was having some issues, and I got it into Patch. It's the only place, and I got it on the town websites and calendars. But she never did submitted anything to the item. I submitted an article after the event, and so some photos on her behalf.
Yeah, actually, Olivia, you bring up a good point. It's rare that we don't have it in the item, but like Sherry said, we had a bit of transition there from our previous chairperson. So there was a bit of flux in June, and I apologize for that too, because I literally didn't know how to get to our HRC email address at one point after last meeting. So I'm still catching up on the backlog of emails in there. So Elizabeth, did you have something?
I did. So one of the things that happened at the interfaith or the Pride flag raising is that we had a blessing from a local clergy person,
Right.
which we have not done previously. And it was lovely. He did a remarkable job. And I'd like to encourage you, if you want to have those again, to invite your HRC clergy rep to do that, because I will admit to feeling a pretty strong ouch that never came to me. And in particular, invite your clergy rep to reach out to other colleagues and make it an interfaith blessing.
Mm. Yeah, Reverend Brett was quite eloquent, and it was very moving.
Anything else around the pride flag raising?
Just to Olivia's point, that document that I had sent to Jeremy and he distributed to all of you about program planning actually has everyone you can get in touch with to promote an event, and even has a suggested schedule at which you put out notifications so you don't have to figure it out. I've done a lot of marketing in my life, and you are, and so I put that document together, and I'm going to pass it on to our secretary to keep the contact information up to date. But I've done all the basics. It's all in there. And I encourage you to use it because I think it will make your lives a lot easier if you're running an event.
How about the Juneteenth flag raising? Glavia, do you want to recap it, or do you want somebody else to?
I mean, I'm okay with it. Well, it was I went after our BSU community Juneteenth event that we had at the lake. I thought it was really well done. It was my first time attending the Juneteenth flag raising event at Wakefield. I especially liked the historian who came and gave a little history of Juneteenth. And also I also liked the lady, I think it was the same lady that gave not only the historian, then gave the history of how Wakefield got involved to do the Juneteenth. So I thought it was a really nice event, and there was someone who sang. So I really enjoyed the Juneteenth event, and I hope it continues in the district. And I think a lot of the students, some of the students that were there was even surprised that there was a Juneteenth flag raising. So I think having a school-based liaison will bring a little bit more exposure to the different events and things that the Human Rights Commission does within Wakefield. So, but I did enjoy the Juneteenth event. I thought it went really well.
Yeah, actually, the poet that was there, he was amazing. His poem, I think he's from Melrose. Is that right? His poem was very moving, and his delivery, he almost sung the poem. It was great. It was really good. Like I showed up, for the meeting, but I kind of hung in the background. Nicole was the sort of the MC, and I think she's the one who gave sort of the history of Juneteenth in the beginning of it, and Wakefield coming into it, and then we had a representative there as well. So it was nice. It was a pretty good turnout, and again, it was one of those days where the rain held off in between the day before and the day after. So, and we had I believe we had the student ROTC members from Lynn, right? Did the actual, were the color guards and did the flag raising. There was a slight issue with getting the flag going, but it was fine. They didn't get stuck. It was just the initial raising of it, but it was really good. So again, kudos to this group and Wakefield for being one of the first communities in the state to, this is, I think, the second or third year maybe that we've done this. So that it's nice. So, and actually, Elizabeth, I'm pretty sure I saw Rabbi Greg there, because I think I heard him say that he was gonna become our liaison. So yeah, so I actually met him there. So thank you for, I'll make sure we get his contact info from you afterwards. So great. Anything else about the events? So So then, I think we can move on, Sherry, to the finances review and the grant status. So, Jillian, I suspect you haven't had a chance to reach out about our accounts or anything. We can set that up with, well, I guess I'll leave it to Sherry after this meeting to coordinate you, me, and Sherry meeting with town hall and Mr. Mayo, like you said, but Sherry can help you out. I do know that there's a few emails, and maybe I'll leave them to you, Sherry, to go into the account and just look about funds just transferred from one account of ours to another, just because there can't be a negative balance. So we had funds in one, but not the other. And then there might be an info in there about the grant, but seeing you brought it up, Sherry, I'm gonna turn it over to you for the topic. No, I think you're muted still.
Yeah. Originally, the grant was approved at $1,500, and they found they had more money, so they gave us $1,880. And they had a very nice little reception at the Albion Cultural Center for people who had received grants, and I met a couple of the people who were on the Mass Cultural Council at that event. At this point, we used some grant money for the International Women's Day, but so far it has not been reimbursed. And the process of the financial process is very confusing, and there was nothing written down about how you accept money from the grant, how it goes into our accounts, and how it could be used. And I am learning as doing, and so I'm very happy that we're going to meet with Steve Mayo, and maybe they have, because I've asked if it could be Sherry Dalton, who's very helpful. It's Steve's right hand. She is the one who has been helping me along. But for the Women's Day event, we spent a grand total of $279 out of the grant. And for the APAH event, we spent $491. And that leaves us something like $1,200 that we can use for Hispanic Heritage, which tends to be a fairly expensive event in terms of entertainment, or anything we do for Indigenous people, which usually is more online based. So we have that extra money, plus our budget got increased to $3,000 from $1,000. And that was something we have to congratulate. She's not here, Daniela, our previous treasurer, really fought for that. We all talked about it. And one of the things that we need to do as we go forward to make sure that we justify that money is keep track of how many people attend an event. So I know International Women's Day, I had 60. I just rounded it off. And for, APAH, we had 150. Over the course of the evening for the last Hispanic Heritage, which was a Latin dance party, we had, I would say, 50 people as well. If I look at the photos, I'll be able to figure out how many people. So if you're running an event, it's important to keep some record of how many people come, because if you want to apply for a future grant, it helps to build your case. And so we do have some money moving forward, thankfully, plus do have money in our budget, which we actually have to use a big chunk of to buy some new haters, no home here signs and other bling that we hand out. So that having the grant money will free us to be able to pay for our other expenditures.
So Sherry, can I ask, you wrote the grant, is that right?
Yeah, I wrote the application for the grant.
And where did the grant come from? Is it a town money?
No, Mass Cultural Council.
Mass Cultural Council, thank you, I didn't catch
Mass
that.
Cultural Council.
Is that from the arts? Is that through the Arts Council or the Arts?
It's a separate organization. Mass
No, I
Cultural
know.
Council.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep track. I'm also on that commission, and I know that there's some grant stuff through that. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't, or to see if it was separate. And also, how much did you say was spent on the APA event?
$491.11.
491. Okay.
And part of it, we would have been spending more, but one of our talents actually, after she sent the invoice, she said, "Don't pay me." She goes, "We had such a wonderful time." She brought her family. It was our kind of artist. And she had already reduced her fee because I negotiated her fee down. And then our martial arts people didn't take any fee at all. They did it for free because we gave them a promotional table. So there are ways to get great entertainment without spending all our money, but we have the money to spend on providing honorariums for some of the wonderful individuals who train the different performers and spend hours and hours of their time doing it. There's just some kind of gracious thank you to them or to their organization for providing us with such. You know, we had 3 hours of absolutely nonstop entertainment. I mean, it was constant. So
is the grant something that we could or should apply for annually?
we could apply for that annually, yes. You just have to build a case. And the application was not very difficult. I've done these things before, but you just have to make sure you build a strong enough case that we actually do need the money. And since our budget has now been increased more, I think we should wait a little bit and see before we ask for more money. We'll see how much other things cost.
What is the fiscal year?
It's the fiscal year for the town starts July 1, which means that our monies refresh July 1. So every year we've run a deficit. We always end up spending more than $1,000, and the town covers. But we actually have 3 different accounts, and that's what's so confusing. That's what I found out. We have our regular budget, and that does not revolve. If you don't spend it, it's gone for the year. So you spend that out down first. Then we have what's called the revolving account, and that is where we put donations. Or if we sell, I think it has no home here sign, we put the sign income in that particular account. Then I just recently found out we have a separate account for the grants. And the town pays our bills, deficit pays our bills, and then waits for the grant money to come back in, and it goes into that particular account. And I still haven't learned anything about what that means, how we can use that money that once it goes back in, because what it really is doing is reimbursing the town for advancing us the money to pay for these things. So I'm looking forward to speaking to Steve about it, because it is confusing having 3 separate accounts. And there is a person at town hall who will give you, once you get in touch with her and introduce yourself, will give you monthly reports on what our status is on our accounts.
So should I be reaching out to somebody for information?
They're actually in that program document under resources, the name is in there. And you can actually introduce yourself to her, email is in there, and it says that she's the person who provides the financial reports. So if you can't find it, just I can send it to you as well.
And will you be reaching out to Steve to connect us all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will. Okay, that's it for the grants. And right now we're in much better shape than we've been in forever when it comes to money.
Yeah, so like I mentioned in the beginning, I saw in the email, I think it's a $300 invoice to us for one of the events in June. I don't remember the exact one, but it might have been from the Pride flag raising. Was there something we would have paid for that?
You would have to ask Eileen. I think they were planning on I'm not sure they were planning on using the grant money for that.
Yeah, I'll see what it is, or Sherry, you can see it's in the HRC email account, so it's
Okay.
updated. So, but I wasn't gonna send it to Jillian yet to deal with until she's onboarded. So
And all the bills get sent to Sherry Dalton, but she needs to know if it's for which account,
yeah,
where the money is supposed to come out of.
yeah. So it's like a PayPal invoice or something. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty straightforward though. It's definitely that's what it was for. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I should, but
It seems like I feel like although I feel like a lot of details regarding financial questions that Jillian may have are being passed back and forth. Jillian, are you getting this, or will you reach out post this meeting to find out more things? I feel like my minutes are definitely not covering every single detail that has been passed.
And
So I
happen to-
will look through the documents to find that name and reach out to that person. I don't know where I fit in, like as treasurer. I don't know what my responsibilities are. So I don't know if that person can tell me, or if there's someone else that can tell me.
Oh, she definitely cannot tell you. All she does is give you reports, and they're not very detailed.
Yeah, I think that meeting with Steve will go over a lot of it. And then Sherry's done it. Actually, the invoices for the North Shore Juneteenth association, right? So I think we had them provide I won't say entertainment, but part of the program. So that's what it's for $300. But yeah, no worries. I think we won't leave you hanging, Jillian. So so there's no big programs coming up at this point, so we can sort of catch up over the next month or so, right, Sherry, in terms of
Well,
onboarding
actually,
Jillian and stuff.
planning for Hispanic Heritage starts now.
Yeah, but I
for
mean, there's
October.
nothing that has to come out of our budget, like in the next, like to pay bills and stuff, once we catch
No.
up from
No.
what we
Like I said,
have.
we have some purchases to make,
Yeah,
but that can come right after July 1st when we have $3,000 in our regular.
yeah. So any other questions on the finance portion at this point? I think a big one, Sherry, is the onboarding and orientation. So I think it falls on you, me, and Teresa, because Elizabeth is no longer with us after tonight. So I don't know if it's something where the three of us should do it for the new members, or two of us, or
Actually-
if we should just have a meeting where we go over it all together. I don't know what sort of the best deal is there. Maybe you can tell me your thought, or tell us your thoughts. So.
Yeah, for everyone who's new, when I first came on the HRC, I said, how come I don't have an orientation? I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And there's so many unanswered questions, you can see that. And so another one of the commissioners at the time, Jen Betcher, who was actually a corporate trainer, and I put together a 20-minute slideshow. And the slides and the graphics stay the same, but the text, how you describe things, how you explain things, can change as things change. So it could be a living document. All it takes is 20 minutes to do this. And for the last few years, I've done it sometimes with another person, sometimes alone, and to help prepare anyone who's new. And so Jeremy, actually, I'm going to ask, it only takes two people. If it's more than two people, it gets too confusing. So Jeremy, if you would co-chair that with me, we can send out a doodle with some dates that we're available. And then when everyone else is available, we can do this little dog and pony show. And I think it will answer a lot of your questions.
Yeah, the only caveat is I leave Friday for Italy and I come back July 11th, so I can't do it.
Okay,
over
so
that.
Teresa, are you around this month? Okay.
Sorry,
So-
I'm not doing. I can send you the plane ticket if you don't believe me.
No, that's
Sorry, I think
fantastic.
I'm getting out of it, but yeah.
I'm not going anyplace that exciting from the 12th to the 16th. I'm going away as well for a short time.
Yeah, no, I'll be going away, but so far it's just little here and there, nothing for a long.
Okay, so Teresa, if you and I could get together, and the script it's all written, it's all ready. You put your own little individual twist on it, and everyone gets to see the visuals, and we just talk about it. You can ask questions. And the whole point is we want to make sure that the people who are new can hit the ground running, not cause confusion. And because there's so much work that we have to do, and the transition is always so awkward.
Yeah, I
When
think
people leave and people come on, and fortunately, Eileen Rooney, even though she was leaving, stayed on to, and Nicole Jacob too, stayed on to run the June events for us, even though they were no longer officially even on the commission.
Yeah, I think at least I know Teresa and I think Elizabeth, you sat through, you were part of that first round of that training, because I mean, when we joined the commission, we
Right.
didn't have it, and I remember you and Jen putting it together, and I think I definitely sat through the, the initial one, and it really is helpful because I came in October, I think, or November, for something. We filled vacant slots, and we came in November and hit the ground running. I mean, they were well in the program year, so it was nice to get an onboarding, formal onboarding. So
And our liaisons are invited as well. Everybody's invited to come. Anyone who wants to review is invited to come. And, it's not just about what we do, but it's also about who we are and how we operate and how we become what we are. So that's why it's more of an onboarding than regular, just an orientation.
yeah, and the slides are available afterwards too, if you,
Yes.
if you want to go back and look at them.
And then next year, two of the people who got oriented this year or can take over. And we need to keep passing it along. Or I would do it with another, or Jeremy would do it, or Teresa would do it with another person. So we would then take the lead so we can keep it going year after year, so we have some continuity. Okay, we're already starting to run a little late, so I have to shut up.
No, we're almost through the agenda, actually. The last formal thing on here is the Hispanic Heritage Fall event. So to start thinking about it, and like you just mentioned, it's time to start thinking about it and start planning and getting people together on a committee to go forward. So
And
Yeah.
but
If you want, I can sign up to be the lead for that, and then I'll work on getting some volunteers, hopefully from the community. I know last year, I don't think we got that many, but
I've got two.
okay.
I've got two, and I'll help out also because I love that event.
So I'll definitely be the lead for that.
Yeah. Ina, Polony,
Yeah.
and Sarah team both
Oh, okay.
are very happy to help out again.
Awesome. I'll read.
So
Thank you.
tell me when we get to unanticipated.
yeah, do you want to? Is there anything else you want to talk about, or do you just want Teresa to start going forward from here with it?
Also, any of the new commissioners who would like to be involved with this, it's a very joyous event. It's really fun. And it's been, in the last few years it's been a music event. The first year was magic. We had a mid-October evening with a full moon, 65 degrees, on the plaza of the library with amazing musicians, and then the public danced on the plaza under the moon. It was just in October. It was fantastic. So anyway, if anyone else would like to talk to Teresa, really, it's a great event to be involved with. It's really fun. And then, of course, we also have Indigenous people in the fall as well. And
Yeah, I don't know. I
Benny Reed is still willing to help out with that. She's the prior.
I think she
commissioner.
said that in the last meeting that she still wants to be involved for that one.
Yes. But the lead will have to be taken by someone within the commission, and Benny will be on the committee.
Anything else around the Hispanic Heritage event for now? Okay, so I'm sure we'll have more of an update in July's meeting. Hopefully we can have a committee together of Teresa and her staff from both community and HRC at that point. So the next thing is the matters not anticipated. There is one to sort of keep on the radar that I came across, and that's Town Day is October 7th.
Mhm.
So I know an email went out from the town of Wakefield, because I got it. It had on there, I think, vendors and exhibitors, but not town organizations yet. So I don't know, but it's something we should keep on our radar, because it's great exposure for us and a way to get us out into the community and recruit people from the town, let them know what we do. I think I was in the afternoon shift, maybe not last year, but the year before. I think it was great. I mean, there was a ton of people that came through at the tent. I think I was there with you, Teresa, actually.
Yeah.
So,
And I did it alone last year, and it was wonderful. And actually, it's the same application for exhibitors and town bodies, and we want to put our name in as soon as possible.
Yeah, and
Say,
it's
yes, we
right,
want a table.
right, it's first come, I think it fills up, so.
Yeah,
So,
but
so-
they make room for town organizations. But
Yeah.
we should tell them sooner than later, and it's.
so Sherry, do you wanna take care of that for us?
Yeah, that will be one of my to-dos. Will be to sign up for the October event.
Yeah, but guys, put it on your calendar now, so if you're not full that day, don't, hopefully don't fill it up. It's October 7th.
Mhm.
Are there other matters people wanna bring up, anything?
I will also look into a vendor for buying new signs once our new budget comes through. Because we have not many. And the last group that we bought, they peeled. I mean, I bought one last year and I've already replaced it. So, and we need a vendor that maybe, I hope I can find out who the original vendor was, because those signs have held up well. But last year's, the red ones did not hold up well at all. They peeled.
What are the signs used for?
Oh, Kate has no home here signs. And we sell them with the frames at cost, $5 a sign. And they're very popular. I mean, we've had people buy 20, 30 of them. People from other communities even buy it from us.
Are
Where
they
do they-
lawn signs?
They're the lawn signs, yes.
Oh, okay.
And if you would rather have something different than the Hate Has No Home Here, that's the one we've traditionally used. Please feel free to make a suggestion, because we won't buy them until after the July meeting anyway.
Where do people buy them from?
Oh, you just go online and there's all kinds of thematic signs. Okay,
I mean-
Elizabeth? Yes?
Are you asking how they buy them from the commission?
Yes.
Oh, no, they buy them at events or they send us an email
Okay.
and we have delivered them or they have picked them up depending on where they're stored. And one other thing you should know is we do have storage in the town hall storage space, but the only way you can get things out of storage is if you make a request to access the materials during regular business hours for the town hall. So you have to think ahead a little bit. And that's, in the past, sometimes these things have been stored in people's basements and no one knew where they were, but we have a centralized place we can put them.
I know it's late and we probably need to log off, but something maybe to consider for next time is the Peace Flag movement provides peace flags for free. And I mean, they will ship dozens for you to disperse because it originated out of Natick. They basically want to paint the town with them. So that could be something to look into for giveaways, not necessarily for cost.
Could we put that as one of the to-dos for Jillian, that she would look into acquiring peace flags for us?
I mean, I've done it before. I could just get a bunch if that's of interest to people.
Well, perhaps you can send us what they look like
Sure,
and how big they are, because I haven't seen them.
sure.
Speaking of the Hate Has No Home Here signs, now you'll see them around town. Now that we've mentioned them, you will see one and you'll go, oh, that's what it is.
I have
So,
seen a few. I didn't know where they
okay.
came from.
Yeah, they come from us. Yeah,
Great.
I've seen them all over the community actually. So I'm sure other places have them, other you know, HRC or the like committee in other towns, but I've seen them Stoneham, Winchester. So we've done the farmers market in the past. We've had a table at the farmers market and sold them there as well, and I think they've done fairly well there too. But yeah, so
Have they asked us to sign up for a date yet? Because we usually do two, like one early season and one later season.
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it could be in the email chain. So because normally I think everything goes to the HRC email. So I just haven't had time to scroll through all of them since since I took it over, literally like 2 weeks ago. So I tried to post the agenda, but I forgot Juneteenth was a holiday. So Sherry from the town wrote back and she sent me the booklet that we've all supposed to read and sign the thing. And she said, it's in here. All the procedures are in here. So I think that was her way of slapping me. So
Yeah, it's we can't have like snap of the fingers meetings. We have to give 72 hours notice to the town so that they can make the fact that we're having a meeting public because of open meeting laws. And
yeah,
I assume all of you have gone through that 2-hour online training for open meeting laws. And it's pretty strictly held to.
I apologize. I have to head off for the evening.
I think we all covered.
Thank you.
that's fine. So I think I don't know if anybody else has anything other than to just review. I don't know if we can review it. Jessica, can you review the notes, and do you have any to-do list in there for people, or
Let's see, this is the test, right?
yeah, I mean, this is what we generally do. I should have told
Yeah.
you before.
No,
Generally, we
no,
end the meeting
I
with
like
just
a,
sort of
I like
recap.
I like a pop quiz. So let's see, we, for Elizabeth, I believe we will be getting the, contact info for Rabbi Greg from you. Let's see, we still need to track down the April 25th meeting minutes, if that is possible, so that they can be submitted. That has been done. For the finances, Sherry will reach out to Stephen to set up a meeting, I believe, for Jillian and Sherry to go over that information, and also any other meetings that that you need to have together to share financial information with Jillian to help her out. The onboarding orientation is going to be done by Sherry and Teresa. So I believe a doodle will be sent around. Will that be sent by Sherry or
Yes.
Sherry?
Yeah, I have the doodle. I'll talk to Teresa about available dates.
Okay, so she will send the doodle around so that we can get a date set up, and we can set that up for onboarding. The Hispanic Heritage event, Teresa signed up for that, and so I believe you will, Sherry is going to share some names with you of people to contact for volunteers, and Sherry's going to look into a new vendor for getting lawn signs. Sherry, your to-do list is already growing.
That's why I want other people to take the lead.
Yes. And Jillian is going to share with everybody what the peace flag signs look like, so that we can determine whether or not we want to get those. And that is what I have.
There's two other things. I have to sign us up for Town Day.
Oh, yep. Sherry needs to sign us up for Town Day.
And Jeremy, could you take the lead on signing us up for a couple of farmers market dates?
Yeah, I can look into it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, sorry, I have to jump, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. So I only are we all set with the action list? I think so, right? So we can adjourn. But before we make a motion to adjourn, I would just like to take this opportunity to thank Elizabeth for all her contributions over the last couple of years. I think you came on basically the same time I did, and you have had the perspective that not everybody comes in with, given your role in the community and stuff. And I've always appreciated your willingness to share and candidness and just being you on the commission. So thank you from myself and from the rest of the commission and those commissioners who are no longer on the committee with you. They would say the same. So
Thank you, Jeremy. I will encourage everyone else to find some balance with HRC work so that you do not burn yourselves out. That has happened to others.
do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Anyone second?
Yes.
So let's do a roll call vote. Jessica,
Yes.
Olivia,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
one final time. Myself, yes. And I want to thank again Glavia and Amy for joining us. Oh, sorry. You have
Yes, I
something?
hand up.
Thank you. I just have one question. Do we meet the last Tuesday of every month or just third Tuesday of the month?
Yeah, it's normally the third. I apologize for this month because of the transition. I
Okay.
wasn't able to post the agenda in time to meet last week, so that's
Nope,
why.
I just want to be able to block it on my calendar so that I know
Yeah.
to let people know if I can and cannot make it on those days. But thank you, third Tuesday. Thank you.
Excellent. So yeah, thank you all for joining us tonight. And I look forward to leading the commission with you, Sherry, over the next year. So we will do well. We will leave it in a good spot
We'll
when
be
you
a
leave us.
team.
So sounds good. So all right. Night, everyone.